In telecommunications, specializing in wireless internet technologies, and joined with Wiz-Tec computing technologies. In 2003, after taking his first business public on the Venture Exchange in 2002. Served as CEO since 2011. It's a Canadian company designing and implementing payment solution technologies for gas, C-store card lock, and most recently the car wash industries. It's got over 3,500 installations, multiple provincial ministries of finance and clients, coast-to-coast footprint, spanning 30 years. Do I need to ask you questions? It's all here. And a leading edge product for our audience for our course. Welcome. Before we get going, I got a lot of work for you guys. Let's watch that third video, and then we'll get into a conversation.
Transaction, be able to tap my debit card instead of have to enter my PIN.
More product on the shelf.
You might have a few fresh vegetables too.
Probably if there was a selection of like fresh foods, maybe.
Or curds. Be like the lighting inside is really dim, dark in there.
More light in there. It's kind of thought when you go in.
If their hours are longer, this ever late.
It'd be nice if they had some extra items like toiletries or toothpaste, that sort of stuff.
More variety of different products.
It would be really convenient to have them offer like hot beverages, like coffee, just so I wouldn't have to go elsewhere.
So it's interesting, and these are all unscripted and unprompted. The speed kept coming up as we did these videos. You heard me talk at the opening about the mobile wand. You're an expert in this area. Give us a sense of how consumers' expectations have changed since we've been putting this stuff.
Sure. Just before I do too, I want everybody actually to know this one. I'm going to have to refer back behind that because it's I don't necessarily remember. But the reality of it is that as human beings, we're slowly and irrevocably being trained to take the lesser path. Whatever the fastest, most expedient route to go is, that's what the consumers do. So, I think everybody will handle it. So we'll touch on it a little bit. But the reality of it is that there's only three things that retail really needs to concern itself with from my perspective in my industry. And first and foremost is speed of throughput. So customers want to get in and they want to get out. Customer satisfaction, which you guys have all been talking about today. And then of course from the retailer's perspective, it's got to be return on investment. Right? So when we pair all or match up all those criteria, then we take a look at what's happening in the marketplace today from a payment perspective. So I think one of the big things that retailers need to remember is they need to not assume that they understand their customer base, that they don't assume that they understand how their customers want to pay. It's really important not to layer on your personal sentiments on the people that are coming into your business, right? Things like tap and pay, debit, credit, using your phone. These are all the trends in modern society today, and a retailer that's not adopting these things is simply missing the boat on where we're going as a society. I think probably one of the things that people need to really keep in mind is the smartphone itself, and you sort of pointed to this earlier in the presentation. It's probably the most powerful trading tool that's ever been created in the history of mankind. You just cannot see it not being more and more pervasive within society today. And from a retailer perspective, wireless technologies, it has to be part of your plan, without question.
So when you're talking about, the sense of the need for speed and people wanting to get in and out of the store, have there been any case studies where people have gone to more this tap and go, and so that they're freed up to have more customer interaction?
Sure.
Or is it just about getting them out of the store?
Well, the reality of it is that throughput is king in retail. So to give you an example, we took one of our retail businesses in the car wash industry. We deal with C-store, direct cash retail, car wash, car block. That individual was using very much a cash predicated business, if you will. We removed his cash altogether. 50% of his business constituted cash at the time. And when we put in tap, debit, credit, EMV chip and PIN, gift card programs, loyalty program, commercial fleet program. His business almost doubled, and the cash component was completely gone from his business. You know, don't misunderstand, you still have people walking in and going, well, I want to pay cash, but they really become minimized, and your customer learns to be trained on what payment processes you provide. Okay? So if you're telling your customers, well, I only want to accept cash, you have to be very, very careful with that, because what you may actually be doing is sending your customer down the road to a convenience store or a business that has better and faster methodologies of payment.
Okay. And the, where do you think this mobile and consumers are going with this power? Are you seeing, are we there now with tap and go, or are we just at the beginning of what's going to be a world of fully electronic?
Or we're just getting touch on, and I'll throw some statistics at you.
Okay.
So, Payment Canada is, you know, organizes what sort of tracks everything that goes on in the retail industry and transaction processing. And in 2017, we had almost 22 billion transactions with a dollar value of around $9 trillion. That's a lot of money. What was really interesting about that statistic is that only 13% of all that transaction volume was represented with the cash at your point of sale in your store. Right? That's not very much. The reality of it is that almost $500 billion was credit cards. And about half of that, you know, something in the neighborhood of $250 billion was debit at the point of sale. So the assumption that cash is what your customers want to pay, or that your business is driven by cash transactions, is really going by the wayside. And what we're really starting to notice, and what Payments Canada's trend is showing, is that slower electronic processes are being replaced by faster electronic processes. So the days of inserting your card and your chip and pin and doing your thing on the pin pad are being supplanted by tapping your card or tapping your phone. And it's the same thing with e-commerce in general. So we're noticing that payment apps are supplanted using e-commerce on your computer at home.
So I'm going to throw a question that we can chat about, and thank you for both of you, because I think I gave you all questions you didn't know what was coming. But so if somebody moves towards really setting, let's say you went in and said, you're going to do what I think is right for your store,
Yeah.
and you get a completely, so it's like currencies like liquid, no matter whatever the consumer wants to do. Does that, do you feel that signals a change in terms of their premise and who they are? Does that make it seem more modern, or is that just the cost of doing business?
It really is the cost of doing business. You know, if you're, there's some rule of thumbs that we work on, standardized in terms of retail in these four verticals, which this show is really predominantly about. And one of them, for example, is if you're a gas bar or C-store and you find yourself having more than 5 customers lined up in front of your point of sale, well, you're doing business wrong, because what's happening is the guy that's at the end of that line is going, I'm not going to wait. He leaves and goes down the street to a store that has no liners, right? The concept of a car wash where you're going in, you're buying tokens and then moving over to the machine and entering those tokens in and then washing your car and discovering your tokens left, or you have to go find some guy for the change, where the next car wash down the road is using tap debit credits or fleet card or gift card programs. That guy's winning and you're losing, because you're using technologies that are 25 years old and they're slow. And they're so slow that you're costing yourself and your customer money and time. So think about it from the perspective of throughput, which is key in this industry. And you know, if you could take a car wash that it takes the individual 15 minutes to wash the car on a day wash, and you can reduce that time down to 10 minutes, well, that's a 30% increase in your annualized throughput right there, right? You've got a happier customer. The customer is more satisfied because they doesn't have to screw around trying to do what they're trying to do at that car wash. And you're giving them a more secure methodology of transacting with you. You know, a lot of the car washes in Canada today are still using 3-track matrix. Consumers don't like to see that. That makes them insecure. They think to themselves, well, I may be the subject of fraud by using that device, right? By putting in EMV chicken type technologies, tap and pay, these are the things that the consumer wants to see in your business premise. And if you don't have it, you're going to start losing market share to the people around you that do.
So safety and security, one of the things that I talked about as a key motivator for traffic, also plays into the whole payment world.
Absolutely.
I feel safer with, sounds like people are traveling with less cash. Is it a safety issue, or they're just?
It is, and you know, the reality of it is that when you're utilizing your phone, There's two devices, and then there are the other technical aspect of cell phones, but essentially the NFC signaling within the phone is the most secure form of payment in the marketplace today. It has better encryption than walking into an ATM and pulling money out from your bank. So people they're becoming aware. You hear it all the time. Don't take your card and use it at an ATM here, for example, because it's got skimmer devices and this, that, and the other thing. So people are becoming cautious as this as consumers. And if you as the retailer aren't keeping up with that, again, it's all coming down to speed of throughput, customer satisfaction, and security, and return on investment. So if you're moving your customers in and out fast, and customers are satisfied with what they're purchasing and how they're purchasing in your business, you're getting good return on your investment. Simple as that.
Is there any data that if I buy electronically, I'll spend more in store versus if I use cash?
There is. As a matter of fact, we've noticed very heavy increases in the size of the transaction volume. There's a couple more statistics for you. So right now, I don't know if anybody in this room knows this, but Canadians are the second largest users of credit cards in the world. Okay. By a per capita basis. You wouldn't think that, but this is the case. 47% of people that use a credit card use it for 50% of all their purchases monthly. Another 25% of the credit card users will purchase 25 to 50% of their product monthly. Right? So if you take that and break it down by population, that's 22 million people. That's 75% of the adult population of Canada uses this credit card more than 25% of the time when they make a purchase every single month. Okay? Another couple of quick statistics for you. 94% of Canadians have a debit card in their wallet. 84% of Canadians walk around with at least one major credit card in their wallet. Okay? 90% of Canadians have a smartphone. So, I hear from my customers, my customer base is a little bit older, they're not used to utilizing these devices. That's just completely wrong thinking. And you have to take that step into new technologies and new trends. If you think for a moment that when we know statistically that 9 out of 10 customers walking into your business have at least one alternative method of payment over cash, and you're not accommodating that, you're going to lose that customer.
So how would an independent that's maybe just getting into this business, or as obviously might take credit and debit card, when speed becomes the new metric, where do they go to know they're betting on the right technologies and they're making the right?
That's probably one of the most apropos questions for a retailer, I think. So there's a few things that the retailer has to be aware of. The first thing is the supplier has to have scalability. Okay? So I'll step back a little bit. If you're just buying the technology that's current to the guy next door, most of the technologies that retailers are using today were designed 25 or 30 years ago. Okay? So, if you're using RFID chips or tokens in your car wash, or you're predominantly cash at your retail business, well, you're in the dinosaur age. So you need a supplier that not only has current technologies, but has scalability with those technologies going forward in the future. So, I'll give you an example. Our point of sale system that we sell at Wiz-Tec is about 16 years old. It's on its 16th birthday. But it's a Windows-based platform that allows us to adapt and modify it to meet the needs of our real-time server technologies, phone apps. It's got scalability all the way along the path. So if your vendor doesn't have that, then we've got a big problem. The other thing you need to be aware of as a retailer is you need to make certain that the processing component, the transaction merchant fees, your transaction fees, that you're using a Canadian bank. If you've got a phone application that's hauling your money off to Estonia, well, how secure do you feel as a retailer? Or down to the US, you don't have any recourse in those situations. Carwacs, car washes, a lot of vendors have bank certifications, but those bank certifications are from outside Canada. So when you're shopping, shop for Canadian bank certifications, shop for scalability, make certain that the company that you're dealing with is a company that provides you recourse and it stands up to its product.
Perfect. Give it up for Bill. So we have 10 minutes left, and I want to